All right, guys.
Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
That's what Caleb did. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave anything.
All right, guys. Deer Shop Podcast, episode 127. Uncle Jay, Isaac, and myself. Fireside chats at Jay's. Thoughts and reactions on making Ohio great again. We apologize we did not get a podcast to you last week. We've had a lot of shit going on. We've been busy. It's flu season, sick season. There was a lot of factors at play last week, and we ended up not recording a podcast, which I think was fine because we've had so much reaction to this series. We just let it kind of ride.
Yeah, so it was good to let an extra week happen.
Yeah. Let everybody breathe.
At first, I never wanted to have a week where we didn't have a podcast. But as time has gone on, I don't mind. Because I think that was probably the 5th or 6th time in the last 127 episodes we've missed.
Over 2 years.
Yeah, over 2 seasons. We're on season 3. Are we in season 3? I don't even know. Every 52 episodes is a new season, I guess.
Well,
or calendar year.
That would have been
I don't
6
know.
months ago.
Well, the calendar year, technically, our first episode was in July. Like July 2-4. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But we missed an episode, and I was perfectly okay with it.
Our sponsors are going to be mad.
The Saddle Boys group chat was like, dude, your sponsors are going to be pissed. And then, like, winky face, because
Cheers.
obviously there isn't any.
Cheers,
but
fellas.
we thank you for tuning in, listening to us today. It is January 24th, 2026. We're sitting here in Uncle Jay's unimpressive trophy room. Can you see any deer in the shot or no?
Not really.
No.
Maybe one up there.
You need to get more shit
But
in
let's
here.
say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deer probably over 140, 50, 150. What's the smallest one?
Smallest one is like right at 150.
Okay, so 5 deer, 150 plus.
2 150-ish and 2 160s-ish.
That one's
170.
yeah.
This is completely unimpressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Skip's place.
The funny part is Jay has a room above his garage that just has like, how many mounts are just laying in there?
Half a dozen.
You have some pronghorn and stuff in there too, right?
Yeah, I got to get the antelope up.
Is there 2 antelope or 1?
Well, I've killed 2. I just had 1 mounted.
Okay.
And then I've got a Miriam turkey up there, and then the antelope, and then
Couple deer.
a couple deer, and then I've got the moose on the way. Oh, the bears over there.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time today talking about where he's going to put his moose.
Yeah. That's going to be
He said it weighs 60 pounds.
yeah, it's probably 60 pounds.
Just hang the skull from a nail and see what happens.
So it's 65 inches wide,
7.
67 inches wide. How tall is it? Because it's probably close to 60-some inches tall, right? Like from the bottom of the skull to the top of the antler.
So I can tell you it took me 3 tries to pack it.
Because it was dragging?
The first time I did it like a moron. I put it antlers up.
Or like a deer would.
Like a deer, which is completely asinine. One, there's no orange in Alaska. Now, granted, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but
You're walking around like
walking through thick brush with giant antlers sticking up out is probably not the smartest thing. Also, it was so top heavy, I couldn't do it. Could not do it. So then I flipped them upside down, but I had the curl forward. Also a huge mistake.
Just hugging you the whole time.
Well, no, it was grabbing all the shit. So then after I figured that out, okay, backwards, curl out, and that's the picture that I have, which worked out great. So to answer your question, that was like his mouth was at the base of my neck, and then his antlers were probably just off the
So a
ground.
good 5-6 foot.
Yeah,
almost.
probably. Yeah, I'm 5'9".
So it's like a 6 foot square.
Yeah.
Which it'll fit up there, but you need a big ass wall for that.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. But that's probably a good spot.
Yeah.
The picture you're talking about will be immortalized in the shop forever. I printed it out. We have it here with us somewhere.
Sweet.
I don't know where it's at.
My picture made it to the shop.
It'll be. You got a couple in the shop.
Do I really?
Yeah, there's a picture of us from our bear hunt. That's in the background. I'm trying to think if there's any more. You have some that he's printed out from your guys' hunts alone.
That's probably one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. Is you
That's in the
standing by the
office.
campfire.
That picture of us three on the bear hunt is in the shop, and I believe there's one. I think it's in my basement too on the wall. I have that one in the shop and on my basement. But your moose will be in the shop, and I got to find. I'll put it in the back shelf somewhere so it's always available in the background. I'll put you and Mark right next to each other. I have another one to print out of Mark from his buck of this year. He shot another Buckmasters 150 this year. Put it on there.
We've been waiting to go down that road. Maybe during
have
this
a
off
note.
season we will.
I have a note that we're going to talk
It's a big
about.
social media thing. Master scoring.
Today is the Chatham Historical Society Community Chili Cook-Off. We've been a part of it for, I don't know, this is like the 6th or 7th year we've done it. So we made our chili today with some of Jay's. Actually, I didn't do shit. Jay cooked
They made
up,
the chili last night.
Yeah, Jay made the chili last night for the
Yeah, it's
Chatham.
been slow cooking all night.
Moose meat.
Moose chili, man.
Moose chili.
I do kind of a unique take on chili, I guess. I make it the way I like it. If someone else likes it, great. But it seems to have gotten pretty good feedback from people. It's kind of a sweet and savory.
Yeah, I like it a lot. We've done, if anyone's ever been to the Chatham Chili Cook-Off, we've done chicken, bear, venison, smoked venison, and now moose. I think the 5 years we've done it has been those 5 combinations. We've gotten second place, I think, like 4 times because no matter what, a Wendy's style chili will win. You have a chili when the masses come in, so like the public votes on it. Everyone comes, pays their money, gets their scorecard. You can vote on like best overall, best display, and like there's like a choice, something choice.
For some reason, there's like a.
But a Wendy's chili will always
Nothing
win.
against Chatham. Doesn't surprise me that a Wendy's chili would win.
Yeah, like it's like something with beans
Like,
and tomato.
I know you haven't been there.
Runner up is fries dipped into the Frosty.
This is the most small town thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
I can't wait, man. This is my first chili cook-off, so I'm excited.
We've never been able to win. We just always get second. There's like a category called like
People's choice.
People's Choice, which
I don't understand how that's
which
not
is
the
not
winner.
the best tasting. So like there's best tasting and then there's People's Choice.
We've won that.
We've won the People's Choice before, but we've
Okay.
never, for some reason, we've never been able to win best tasting. The year that we did the bear meat,
I have a golden ladle. We won one of the categories before.
yeah,
Golden ladle.
It's at the shop.
the year that we did, so one year I went like full blown Chatham. I smoked chunk venison, not ground, chunk venison. I used Chatham jalapeno peppers. We used tomatoes from Dad's garden in Chatham. Like we went full organic Chatham as you could possibly be. We did no beans, like the whole 9 yards. And it was some of the best chili I've ever had. Didn't win. Lost to a Wendy's chili. Yep. You know, it's
Or
like
a
we
white
lost
chili.
to the fire
A
department.
white chili will win.
Ooh, white chili's good, though.
The first 2 years,
I
white
just
chili
know
won.
Because white chili is delicious, but it's
It
not
It's
chili.
chicken corn
but it's
soup.
not chili.
Yeah,
Corn chowder.
corn chowder.
If it's not tomato-based, it ain't chili.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast, we just survived the biggest blizzard since the 1978 blizzard in Ohio. So on Monday morning when you're listening,
Which starts tomorrow morning.
tomorrow morning on
Starts tonight.
yeah, well, it's like
Well,
Sunday at
yeah,
4
technically
a.m. is
tomorrow.
when they say it's going to hit. But supposedly, besides the blizzard of 78, this is the biggest storm that's ever hit Northeast Ohio ever. So I hope everyone's safe.
And it's not hitting us the worst. It's hitting like the Carolinas and Tennessee.
You said Florida's
Oh,
getting snow.
the ice.
Yeah.
It's the ice down there.
and they're not used to it. We're
crippled
used to it, so it's
Crippled
just going to
them.
be some snow for us.
We're lucky. I was telling Jay, we're not getting ice. We're not getting wet.
we're getting
We're
snow.
getting powder.
That's
we're
it.
getting 12 to 16 inches of powder,
Which is cool.
and 0 degree temperatures.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
forward for an excuse to not leave my house.
Well, yeah, I'm on shift tomorrow, so it's going to be fun.
I'm on shift tomorrow
I'm
too.
leaving. I think I'm going to leave like 5 a.m. to try to get to work on time.
I was telling Jay, like, it's an adventure. No one's going to be on the fucking roads on Sunday morning. I take back roads to work anyways. 4-wheel drive and just go. What's the worst that could happen?
End up in the ditch, which you do every couple of years.
So I don't want to jinx myself. I don't believe in jinxes, right?
No,
The
not
original-
in our line of service.
The original chili cook-off, the very first one they ever had, that next morning was a blizzard, and I was going to work at the hospital, and I left my house, and I went around the curve on 42, and I flipped the fuck out of my truck upside down into a ditch, totaled it with no injuries after the chili cook-off going to work. So.
He's done that to 2 trucks.
Yeah, but
No, I didn't. I've only flipped one.
Yeah, but you've totaled 2 of them.
That other one was not my fault.
Well, but you
The white truck?
Oh, being 16 years old on a back road doesn't count, okay? That doesn't count. The Colorado was not my fault.
Yeah. So, but you have totaled 3 trucks.
I've totaled 3 trucks, I have.
I've never even gotten a fender bender.
Never got a speeding ticket.
We're totaling this podcast.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about the same thing we've talked about the last 4 times. Will and Ethan killed does this week, and Ethan has been going crazy, and we were supposed to bring you some. We forgot because we're dumb.
Oh, yeah.
What?
He made trail
He's been making treats.
Oh, did he? Oh,
He's been making... What exactly has he made?
trail bologna. He made beef trail bologna. Now he's deer.
So here's a question:
Luke's
is there
made
a
smoked-
difference between trail bologna and summer sausage?
I don't think so.
I think that's the same thing.
I believe it's the same thing.
But which one's the big one?
They're
These
both
are
big.
these are like it looks like a kibasi almost.
Oh, that would be just sausage.
But like it's like a big
Like it's meant to be eaten raw.
trail bologna.
It's meant to be eaten raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's already cooked.
It's cured,
Oh,
smoked.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Okay,
like,
but both are.
like you eat it like a kibasi.
Okay.
Or not a kibasi.
So
like
maybe
a
he
trail
just made a smaller
Some of
summer
them
sausage.
are like a big log, and then some of them are shaped like the kibasi, like they're a loop.
Are we still talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are like a loop.
I mean, so he tested
I
his
believe they call that Peronis.
Pyrones. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a beer called Peronis too, isn't there?
No, it's a water.
No, there's a green beer.
No,
No,
that's
it's a water.
That's fancy water.
Fucking.
I don't drink any of it, so it doesn't. He tested his recipes with beef. He made
Before
one that
doing
was
that.
spicy, and he made one that was sweet because he brought them over during the football game a couple weeks ago. They were good.
They were good.
They were good. And now he did it with venison. The bearded butchers get cheese and I don't know. So. But he's been making, and
Cool,
Luke,
man.
what has Luke been making?
Goose.
Same
Last thing
thing.
talked to me.
Goose sticks, right?
Dylan was making goose sticks. I think Luke was making deer sticks.
Okay.
Luke.
I broke a tooth, I think, the other day with Dylan's goose stick.
He had a shot in it,
It
right?
had a BB in it.
That's hilarious.
No, Luke was doing goose too because he had a pile.
He definitely was.
Yeah, he
okay.
definitely was doing goose of some kind because they killed a shit ton of geese. I think we talked about it on one podcast. 5 bands in one volley. Like a family of banded geese showed up,
Yep.
killed them all.
Anyways,
I don't know how much other bullshit we're going to talk about before we start talking about deer hunting. I got a bunch of stuff written down. I want a couple parlays. We can talk about that or not. I do want to talk about Gritty on Hunter. So just
Hey,
real
watch
quick. So that's funny because you guys are the ones that introduced me to him. And I really have never been that much of a fan only because his newer films were not like his original films. Your guys' original films that you watched back in the day when you were getting into the Western thing, he was one of the leaders of the bear hunting world, right? Like the best.
I would say he's the pioneer of. I don't know of anybody who brought.
who did the backcountry bear hunting.
Yeah, no.
I like hardcore shit, and then they started filming it. He was pretty much the first person to do it.
I got to tell you, man.
And he was in the spotlight because YouTube shut him down, the National Parks shut him down, the Forest Service shut him down.
He finds a way to be abrasive.
He was the one that got in trouble for filming on public
Yes.
land
Yep.
because he didn't have a
I
film
remember.
permit and blah blah blah.
So I'll tell you, I feel like I've gone through this evolution of how I feel about Brian Call.
That's his real name.
Yeah, he at first. So I've been following him for a long time because he used to have this whole thing got started with him and Aaron Snyder, and I got my first backpack from Aaron and all that, blah blah blah. I don't know
The one with all the straps.
Kafaru.
Well, any backcountry one has a bunch of straps. So the evolution of this, like, at first, I don't know. I just didn't know what to think about it. And then he rubbed me wrong because he was like kind of abrasive. And then, like, I don't know. It's kind of come full circle where I'm like,
I kind of like the.
I kind of like the dude because I'm starting to respect where he comes from, which is much like where we come from. Like, I don't think he really gives a shit. He puts out a phenomenal product. That's undeniable. And he's like, watch it or don't. Like, this is my living. And for anybody who's kind of on that whitetail / Western border of hunting, that is I couldn't recommend a bigger podcast to listen to because
And he has 800
I was
episodes or something.
I was just say his
a lot.
nearing 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's really what he's done. I think is nothing short of impressive, and the way he came off to me on that last podcast was very impressive. Kind of won me over.
What else I want to talk about Gritty, which comes into the whole YouTube thing while we're on that little subject. The mainstream music on YouTube videos now is a little weird to me.
We had a revenue sharing on one.
So whether
See
it's
that?
like I don't know if it's Hush, Muley Freak, Gritty, like they started using real songs in their YouTube videos, which I don't know if they.
How are they doing it?
Well, they can do it. I think it's.
You can probably
I don't
buy
think-
a thing from Sony
Well, I don't think they're getting
or whatever.
the rights to the music. I think they're just profit sharing. So they're not getting monetized from their videos because of the music, which they're fine with because their revenue doesn't come from the YouTube
Right,
videos.
right.
Gritty's doesn't come from the YouTube
Right, because
video.
Gritty has been playing real music for a while.
Yeah. So they simply just don't get paid for those videos,
Well, our one.
which that's not where they make their revenue.
So the video that I did while we were in deer camp in West Virginia, which was the history of the deer camp in West Virginia, I pre-made it so while we were down there, something would air. I used a cover from Trout Camp. Of
Some guy
Bill's-
singing
of
country
Bill's buddy
Yeah.
singing the song "Country Roads" that I recorded. The audio is pretty cool. It shows him in the beginning. The record label that owns Country Roads was able to use AI, obviously tools. Were able to identify that we were using the song "Country Roads." They identified that, and they did it for the segment. I don't know if it's for the entire video or just a percentage of the video that the song appears in. A revenue sharing split. Not that it matters. The video only got a couple thousand views. We made
But
like
like-
$5. But like it split the revenue 50-50 or whatever. They got half, we got half.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if they would do things like that, it would lead to more.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're an artist, I mean, Metallica is going to get mad if their shit gets pirated.
Yeah.
But if you're a mid-level artist starting out, don't you want your music to be used on
Out there in
social
the
media?
videos, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get paid for it some way or another, but AI has made it so you could do profit sharing for those portions.
Yeah, and they can't even post it without it being recognized immediately. But I don't know if it takes something away from the video playing, a Tyler Childers song during it.
So, like,
It's cool, but I don't know. It's more of the song than the video then.
so there are times when a real song would be beneficial to our videos. Usually,
With the storytelling, it would help
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
usually, I think towards the end to have a song with meaning over the final minute or 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, that would be
It's always a
beneficial.
closer.
You're not going to start your video with "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy" playing. You know what I mean? Like they're not hunting.
That is a wild.
Wild reference.
But you know what I'm saying?
Wild.
There's not a lot of songs about hunting. There are some, and then
But
there's
so like
A lot of songs set the mood.
So, for example, yes. So, like the one that I wanted to play at the end of the Moose video would have been absolutely goosebump-inducing,
Epic.
I mean, absolutely ridiculous. But it's a real song.
you could. So theoretically, you could make a version with that song, upload it, keep it unlisted, let the AI run its course, and see what it says. If it says, you have permission to use this song, or we're doing a revenue or whatever, it might behoove you if you like it.
Yeah.
Music and blah, blah, blah.
So you liked his Hunter podcast.
I actually, yes. If anything, he just came off very almost humble, which I haven't really seen that yet. But again, I don't have to like you to respect you. And his what he's done in the industry and just let's just say him as a hunter, take the industry away, is also insanely impressive. Very rarely do you get both. A lot of times you get somebody who's really successful in the industry but can't hunt worth a fuck. That's not him. So I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed, and I'll be tuning in more.
I think I've noticed a trend with these podcasts. So a guy on his own podcast or his own videos will come across one way, maybe more arrogant, cocky, because it's his own stuff. Just like probably just how some people think
Yeah, it's his
we come
platform.
across on ours. When they cross that borderline to be a guest on someone's podcast, you get to see a whole new side that you haven't
makes a
really
lot of
like
sense, yeah.
seen before. Good examples of that
Josh
are
Bomar.
Josh Bomar, Lee Ellis, those guys. Like, I will not watch a Bomar video, but when Bomar's on Hunter or these other podcasts, I tune in and it's like, you know what? That all makes sense. That makes sense. I understand. Hometown Ohio
Which
boy
one
made his
do you
own
think
roots.
someone's being more themselves as someone who's done both?
I mean, obviously, the way you act on your own, 100% is the way. Because, like, if you have more than 2 episodes of yourself or 2 videos of yourself, you can't. There's no way you can hide the way you are. So your colors are going to come out
Right.
on your own videos. But the thing is, you have to realize how the world works. When everyone that gets interviewed for a podcast or is in a movie or is in a video or is in this or is in that or writes a book, you're going to get what's projected to you from them. So you're going to, their own content is how they really are, unfiltered. But the way they carry themselves when they're a guest somewhere can tell you about how that's when they are trying to tell you how they feel.
But also, don't you think there has to be like some sort of sponsorship influence? Like,
Always.
you
Always.
can't be a complete psychopath and expect people to sponsor you.
And
Fact-
to make a
factual.
living off that, yeah.
There's things that can but let's use Bomar for example. He's gotten so big,
He's his own sponsor.
He has his own. Yeah, now he has his own broadhead company. Hoyt now makes a Beast Edition bow. So
So he doesn't really have to cater himself to sponsors anymore because
That's what
Or
everybody,
it's a
that's,
or
that's
it's a
the
sh-
dream, right? Like,
it's a short
that
list.
is the dream.
that's like a Rogan-esque.
So like you're small enough.
Right. Rogan has nothing to
Like,
right.
like
Yeah.
I don't give
So
a
you,
shit.
so you, the dream is to be like us. We're small enough. We don't have to cater to sponsors. You go all the way through
Or you're
those sponsors
big
and
enough to
become
not
big
have to-
enough to
yeah.
not have to cater
That's-
to sponsors.
yeah,
So
that's
maybe you're the
fantastic.
same guy. You're the same guy when you're enormous and as you were when you were little. When you're in the middle, you have to cater to other people in order to make that living.
I use my Flexolite ping pong paddle. Whenever I hear a sponsor read, that's what I think of in my head.
Forrest Gump.
Like Forrest's mom is just like, but it's $20,000.
lie,
Yeah, it's just a little white lie. It's $20,000, Forrest. Like,
Which we have firsthand experience with people being sponsored by products that they don't believe in. I won't name anybody, but we have firsthand
and
experience.
we've talked.
with
Yeah. I use a fixed blade, single bevel, and then
Yeah.
but
But I'm actually trying out 4 different broadheads because none of them have worked the way I wanted them to, even though I'm sponsored by one. Anyway,
the reason we're here today. We had 3 podcasts dedicated on how to make Ohio great again. And reaction was positive, reaction was negative, reaction was all over the place.
there was a reaction that was pretty substantial.
I understand the people that were mad saying, what are you talking about? We kill 1,000 record book bucks a year and there's more deer than there ever was in Ohio. And we get that. And on the other side, we did a couple polls. I did a poll on Medina County Hunters, for example, asking, what do you think Ohio needs more of, in your opinion? And overwhelmingly, the answer was more mature bucks. The one thing that we are lacking, yes, record book deer are getting killed, but the one thing we've been lacking across the board is there's not a wealth of trophy class animals anymore. Can everybody kill a trophy class animal every year? No, there's no way. That's not how it works. But over the last 20 years, 3 guys sitting here on these couches, Jay's been hunting our area just as long as we've been hunting our own area. Over the last 20 years, the number of mature animals has declined. And, we've been debating back and forth on what those factors are, why. And that's our small example. Statewide, the hunting has gotten a lot better in some places, and the hunting has gotten a lot worse in other places. Unfortunately, during these 3 episodes, so it was 124, which was Isaac, myself, and Luke talking about Mike Rex's comments. 125, which was the Skip Sly episode. Number 2 all time streaming, number 6 all time on YouTube. Unbelievable amount of comments, by far the most of any video we've ever had. And then 126 was Ethan and myself sitting with the Saddle Boys. We gave 3 different podcasts where we talked about this at length, in depth, all these different situations and what we could do and viewpoints on what we can do. The Iowa model, Mike Rex as a leader of the Wildlife Council, and then the Saddle Boys and me and Ethan sitting there talking about guys that have traveled at all these states and hunted whitetails and what we thought. Basically, what we've tweaked that down to, what we have bottlenecked that down to, is the state of Ohio has a lot of things that are determined by money, stakeholders, who you are, who you know,
Influence.
outside investment groups, outside investment firms, the farm bureaus, the National Wild Turkey Federation, some good, some bad. There's a lot at play here.
But we've learned that things could be changed easily.
There are examples
Could be.
there are examples of states that have made easy changes. There are examples of states that have made bad changes. We have kind of discovered the route that it would require if we really were passionate to make some of these changes. We got a lot of positive opinion from the public on things that they think were good, things that they think were bad. It was kind of eye-opening the more we dug into it, how much biology doesn't really play a factor. We're not finding thousands of dead deer laying dead in the ditch, so we're doing something right. It's kind of like the stance that the state takes, right? Like all these regulation changes.
Ironically, though, we did.
Yeah, this year.
I mean,
This year we did, and to the EHD thing, we've talked at length, experts, podcasts. Does the state control that? Not at all. But when things like that happen, it was like you said, the state actually had a reaction to that, a good one,
yes,
which is we got to give them credit.
yes.
All these things have happened. And the rest of this podcast is going to be final thoughts from each of us. And we have 3 very different viewpoints here. Jay has his viewpoint. I have my viewpoint. Isaac has his viewpoint. Extremely different. And then I do have some public comments that we can go through that would bring up other viewpoints and things that we can kind of hash over and discuss. But in order to fully understand where we're going in this next segment, it'd be nice if you would have listened to at least a little bit of 124, 125, or 126. It'd give you a basis on what we're doing. I want to come out and say, before we go any farther into it, I'm going to let the guys take the floor for a little bit because I've been talking here for a while. But I want to say, a lot of the negative reaction we've gotten is because people have a hard time accepting that some of us, like myself, Isaac, definitely Jay, are more traditionalist than we are modern when it comes to our hunting viewpoints and thoughts. Yes, we use some cell cameras. Yes, we videotape our hunts. There's some things that we do. But when you have a traditional background, resistance to change, culture, tradition is important. Just because you say something, a lot of guys that are on the forefront of, crossbows, drones, all these things that are now modern, they have a hard time accepting that people can still think that way. So a lot of the negative comments that I saw were, you guys need to embrace the change. This stuff's here to stay. You're never going to, a lot of people like to say, you are never going to be able to change this, this, and this. Get the fuck over it. Things like that. And I just wanted to say that we don't have a negative opinion of the guys that are doing those things, especially because there are a lot of them that are legal. Our viewpoint comes from a deep-rooted traditionalist mindset. Property owners who want good overall deer health and herd, and we worry about the turkeys, and we wish we had pheasants, and all these different things compounding is this traditionalist viewpoint that we have. That our podcast, a lot of the guys on our podcast tend to have that viewpoint. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So I just want to throw that caveat out there before, we're inevitably going to get a comment like, "The fuck you guys talking about?" That'll happen. But I just wanted to get that cleared out in the air.
Well, and a lot of that pushback we were getting was from hunters, which they are the majority, that do the corn pile crossbow game. We obviously statistics show, everything shows that crossbow hunters are the majority in Ohio now.
72% of the archery harvest
Is by crossbow.
Yeah, not overall, but the archery.
And we know most of the hardcore guys that want to shoot a big mature buck every year, want to go out do it the hard way, are using compound bows. It's most of the people using crossbows. The reason they use the crossbow is because it is easier.
I find it fascinating the amount of people that argue that it's not.
We were getting a lot of those comments,
and
it is fascinating.
Fascinated by that. That was the steroid argument. that you talked about.
That the crossbows don't make it easier.
Right.
Compounds are
like Caleb had a great analogy, like steroids in baseball, right? Well, it doesn't make it easier. Then why are you doing it?
Yeah. So
if it doesn't make it easier, why are you doing it?
Backstory, we talked about this pre-podcast, so they didn't hear that argument, but
It was my argument for drones.
drones and crossbows.
So I'm just
like
saying,
steroids in baseball.
or steroids just in general. Like, if it doesn't make it easier, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
I like one of the major
Someone
ones.
needs to explain it to me.
There was a couple like, well, you have fucking 85% let off. It's the same. Don't give me that. 85% let off on your boat.
So I have people.
So, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, if I had told you in 1992, hey, man, I'm going hunting with my weapon that's got a scope, a trigger, and can shoot 100 yards, nobody would ever, in a million years, think
was
it
a
was
bow.
anything other than a shotgun.
Right.
Here we are in 2026. That is archery.
Archery equipment that you can use for 5 months
So
out of the
don't
year.
like I can't like it's so silly to say. I don't think people are just being honest with themselves. They're just not being honest with themselves because there takes just look at time. Time equates to work. How much time does it take to get good at a crossbow?
10 minutes.
How much time does it take to get good at shooting a real bow?
Years.
So, I mean, you can't say it doesn't make it easier. That's insane. You're just not being honest with yourself.
So it makes the act of shooting the deer a lot easier, and the pure fact. My whole argument is the pure fact that you don't have to draw it, hold it with your own weight, and shoot the deer. It's ready to go. It's like a gun, ready to go. You pull the trigger, scope deer, pull the trigger, dead.
Yeah.
There's no drawing of the
Magnification of optics, game changer.
They started having thermal scopes for bows now.
That was a new thing in SHOT Show.
The ATA.
ATA, yeah.
I think,
Also
and probably a good time to bring this up that I've been going through my head was like, if you took the individual aspect, drones, crossbows, whatever, out of the equation and just said technology, what are we doing to like keep this thing as wholesome as possible without letting technology ruin it?
It's like it's the liberal mindset of you're going to give an inch, 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 and then eventually, full blown, everything is allowed.
I mean, we're getting there.
Right. So eventually it'll be, well, everyone gets a buck. So everyone is allowed to get their buck, and everyone's going to go out on an opening day 20 years from now. Everyone's allowed to get a buck. You go out on an opening night with your thermal rifle and just shoot one out of the field that you select and be done with it. Because it's the most efficient method of getting rid of or of accomplishing what you
And
want.
people can argue that it's the safest, it's the easiest, it's the most efficient. The state gets exactly what they want. You get exactly what you want. What keeps us from doing that? The regulations and self-regulation, which Skip said doesn't work, which I agree with.
I would
He's
agree 100%. Self-regulation will never work.
So the only thing protecting the traditional deer hunting and the deer themselves is the regulations.
Yeah. And as we
Which
allow
they're getting
more
further
and more,
and further, we need to cut back on them basically.
And it does go back to the purest form of hunting was when we had the most participants. That's not a coincidence. The easier we make it, the more we lose. The equation is in your face. I'm not a big correlation is causation person, but this is hard to deny that the easier we make it, the less participation we're getting.
yeah, because it's happenstance. Maybe I'll go out. Maybe I won't. It don't matter. When I do go out, I'll get that buck.
Well, also there's that whole thing, like, how many podcasts ago did I make that analogy of like, when kids play a video game, if it's hard, like using that modern day analogy or metaphor, whatever you want to call it.
Easy. You play it for 10 minutes, you win, you're done.
You're done. You're never going to touch
you
that
don't
game
even
again.
think about it.
You
No,
put it on
you're
the
done.
shelf and you're done.
You beat
Done.
the quest or whatever it is in a couple of days. You're never playing that game again. If this is hunting and you have to work at it and try, and it's
It becomes a passion for you.
Yeah, it's undeniable. It's undeniable, and it's been talked about by so many people.
Well, those
It's fascinating to me how it's just not It's just not even being recognized. It's wild.
And we can use the example you talked about earlier with your buddy that is a hunting guide out west.
Yeah.
He works for a premier outfitting service.
Mm-hmm.
They bring clients in for a week. They call 10 elk in. They shoot the biggest one. He hates hunting now.
Well,
not fun for
when
him.
we were
It's not.
talking yesterday, and I was trying to figure out my Western plans or whatever, and my two go-to guys out there, he's one of them, and he said, he said in my job, when I talk 300-inch bulls, they're not part of the conversation. So, like, in other words, 400-inch and up, dude, 400-inch bulls. Now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, Keith, you know me.
215.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
220, 5x5.
I go, a 300-inch bull is an incredible bull, and he goes,
I watched Isaac miss the ugliest 74-inch bull in the history of mankind on a video.
So I mean, it all is subjective.
And me and you are probably not very good elk hunters. from
No,
our
we're
past.
terrible.
Yeah, we're terrible.
Where's your elk mountain here at?
Yeah. So we are terrible elk
We
hunters.
hate it.
But I think about
We
elk
have
hunting.
eaten it.
I think about elk hunting hours out of my everyday existence.
yeah.
And I'm a terrible elk hunter because it's hard, because it's something I want to accomplish. Your buddy who guides for countless 300, 400-inch elk doesn't even care about it at all. Doesn't think about it besides it being his job.
Nope.
Do you daydream about the things you've done, or do you daydream about the
Oh.
things you want to do?
Want to do.
Both.
I have never.
Both.
Let's just take a simple example. All the deer I've ever shot, or even let's even get more simpler. The Green Bay Packers. I've never once thought about the Super Bowl that we've won. I've never once thought, "Wow, that was fun."
See,
Oh, I don't
Like,
think
all
that's
I think
equatable.
about-
That's not equatable.
Or the deer I've killed. They're already behind me.
you don't think about your opening day kill.
I'm thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about next. I started thinking about next season the moment we found that deer.
So
day.
for me,
it's over.
So for me, like, I think about the next thing based on thinking about the thing that has been.
So I'll watch my past videos. So like I'll watch my video for Montana a couple years ago and I'll be like, next time.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about next.
They,
always
they,
next-
to me,
like
they
next time
correlate.
I'll do this.
I can't think about one without the other.
See, for me, I categorize, like I put it up on the wall in the shelf, like it's there, and it's forever there. But like I was already thinking about next year's deer.
And it's a little painful to watch.
But you need that, because if you don't have that, then you're done. Once you kill it, I'm done.
But I think you're kind of
It's like the
I don't
video
know,
game.
dude.
I beat the game.
Oh right,
I'm
yeah.
done.
No, I get you. That's why I'm saying.
Look at- I
like,
gotta-
I
look-
can't
look what I
do
have
one
on my
without
wall.
the other.
See, I'm going to have
Yeah.
a hard time, and we probably are. I'm going to have a hard time being an old man because I'm going to look back at some of the cool stuff we've done in the past, and we filmed it, so we get to watch it and relive it all the time, and not being able to think about doing it again. Like if I watch an old elk hunt and I don't have an opportunity to do that again, it's going to be painful to watch that old elk.
You know what though? It's going to be less painful because you did do it and you didn't wish you.
You don't have the regret that you didn't do it.
Yep.
I'm always
that.
looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Like
of
next
course.
trout. Like how often do you think about trout camp? Not
We're
often.
thinking about it today.
We are, but like I don't think back about like there are a couple good moments we've had at trout camp, but like the only thing in my brain isn't.
how good the next one's.
Yeah, I want to get the.
I want the next one to be way better.
I want the
than
next
past.
one to be better. I want everything to always be better than what I had, because once you experience something, it can never be taken away. Right? It's already there, and it can't be taken from you no matter what. So I'm always like, I want the next one. I'm looking forward to next year already. Have
Well,
been.
you have a famous quote, something about satisfied man, blah blah blah.
Yeah, show me a
Right.
thoroughly satisfied man. I'll show you a failure.
exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I think that correlates perfectly.
well, I do too. But I just can't look forward to the next thing without having the previous thing, the foundation of what I'm.
Well, the kind of people we are, when it comes to the hunting, we surround ourselves with that. So like
Yeah.
we're sitting here, we can look up and see all the memories that we were involved with. So it's always kind of there. But I think if more people were more excited about the future and the next thing and doing it again, then there'd be more buy-in on that, on whatever that subject is. Because if you get complacent and if it becomes ho-hum, like your buddy that guides, or your dad takes you out with your crossbow to your redneck blind, and every year you shoot a 140-inch buck. Like, I'm not going.
The
this year, Dad.
novelty is gone.
Yeah, I'm not going this year, Dad. 'cause
There
I
was
got
no work. There was
sports.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like I don't have to worry about it. But,
They're going to pass it up for something that involves effort.
But if you miss
something
that deer,
involves some excitement of
Yes.
Right.
talent.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, you know what? I got football practice because you know what? That's not given to you. Or I've got wrestling practice, or I've got jujitsu, or whatever. You know, like that next thing that's challenging those kids is what's going to draw them. Whether dad wants to admit it or not, those are facts.
are
So
you gonna,
this all boils down to a lot of these adult onset hunters that are taking the easy way immediately. They're not going to be doing it in 5 years. They might not be doing it by the end of the season.
or they continue to latch on to whatever makes it easier and easier and easier and easier. You know what I'm saying? Why would I put, maybe I put X amount of effort into killing said deer, months and months and scouting and all this stuff, and I did it. But I don't want to do that again. So for the next one, I'm buying a redneck blind,
I guess.
and a 500-gallon feeder because I cannot go through that 2 months of work. There are the people out there, they're like, I'm not doing that again. I ain't doing that again.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about those people.
We're going to hammer through some of these comments real quick while we finish this up just because we're kind of strapped on time. We got to get to this chili cook-off. But I think we did set a good base. We got our personal feelings out about this whole Ohio thing. And I think we all disagree that people need to take more of a personalized love of the game and all good things will happen from there. If we don't, if this just becomes something that the weekend warrior does or some guy does and he wants to make it as easy as possible and efficiently as possible and not really have passion for it, it becomes monotonous and it becomes...
That's how you lose that hunter retention.
Yeah.
And we lose that hunter retention, we start losing opportunities and rights and all that.
I 100% fully agree. Thoughts on non-resident landowners? So Jay, this is a good question for Jay because your big thing was limiting the non-residents, doing the draw system points, building revenue there. What if you are a guy, similar to our hunting group? Our hunting group owns land in West Virginia, but we're not residents there. We pay taxes and we own it. So let's talk about the guy in Ohio.
So this might be one of the few times you'll hear me say I struggle with this one. In Iowa, you don't own, if you're a non-resident landowner, tough shit, you're in the draw with everybody else. I don't know how I feel about that. Part of me is like, from just a deer hunting perspective as a resident, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Then part of me of someone that looks at it objectively and says, man, I'm paying property tax to that state, these different things. But I struggle with it. So I look at the big picture. In the big picture, if you didn't have some sort of constraint on it, I think it would be diminishing returns because what's going to happen is now a bunch of non-residents are just going to buy land here.
Yeah.
And then guarantee themselves a tag. And what are the constraints?
But that's the way it is now.
It's because no. It's the way it is now because it's a free for all.
Right.
It's a free for all.
Right.
But if we were to say, I think it would perpetuate land buying in Ohio by non-residents if we limited non-resident tags but gave free reign to non-resident landowners for tags. They'd be like, well, I mean, let's look at the cost. If I can, but what's the boundary? What's the barrier to entry? Is it 100 acres? Is it 50 acres? Is it 1 acre? That I can get a non-resident landowner tag because I own land? Well, is there parameters there? I don't know, dude. I think it perpetuates people.
You'd probably have to hunt on that land.
On your land. Where's
that? Where's that written?
Look at it this way. Say we had the means, say I had $500,000 and I wanted to go buy hunting land. Would I buy 60 acres in Iowa that I could only hunt once every 4 or 5 years?
You buy it in Ohio.
I'd buy it in Indiana or Kentucky or Ohio. Where you're guaranteed
a
state where
tag.
I could hunt every year.
Yeah.
And so is that fair? So there's probably not that many non.
Oh, I don't think it's a fair thing. What's fair for a non-resident? I mean, as someone who is 99%, I don't go crazy when all my tags are fucked every year because I'm a non-resident and they're constantly changing to accommodate the resident. You're part of that. You see when you're Western hunting, you are at the mercy of what the state deems best for the resident. That is not Ohio, and that's where I have a fucking problem. Like we're just like one, come all.
So could the argument be made if you're buying land in a state for hunting purposes that you're probably one of the good guys?
Yeah, and you are.
I don't know.
You know what I'm
dude.
saying? Like, are you gonna
what does that mean?
But
You're rich enough to buy land in the state that you can hunt every
But you're
year.
contributing to that state way more than some dude just coming over and buying $100 tag. You're paying property tax. You're
and
doing all
you're
this
probably not going to spend X amount of thousands to shoot a bunch of spikes. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
if you're
I don't
making that
know. I
investment-
don't know because what are you going to do? You just going to up the lease to the residents?
Well, you'd probably have to have some stipulations where like this is not able to be leased.
I just feel like if conversely, less non-residents would buy land in Ohio, opening up opportunity for residents in Ohio to buy land.
I don't think it's the non-resident land owners that are more of a problem than it's the non-resident land leasers, people that are leasing.
Sure,
other
right now, but we're talking if it went to a draw. If it went to a draw, a non-resident landowner, where does that put them?
Because if they started doing the same thing in West Virginia and we were no longer allowed to hunt at deer camp one every 5 years, that would be a dagger in the heart.
To be fair, West Virginia doesn't have the
go.
resource we have.
Yeah.
They just don't. They just don't.
I mean, and I don't think it would, I knew that example would be brought up, and I think the audience would probably end up bringing up that example. Like, you guys go down to West Virginia. I think if West Virginia wouldn't be, for one, it wouldn't be an every 5-year draw. It'd probably be,
Well, how many West Virginia non-resident tags are there?
A lot.
40,000?
Probably more.
Non-resident hunters. in
Everyone
West Virginia?
that we run into down there, 80%.
Dude, you're taking a page out of a novel and saying you know the story. So like,
What
no
do you
way.
mean? We're in the middle of nowhere, and 90% of the guys are from other states.
A couple dozen people.
Each camp's 10 guys.
Okay, but like I'm talking about the entire state. That we're gonna have to look that up. What's
Isaac's fact check.
There you
working
go.
on it.
Right.
You guys
Yep.
keep talking.
Look it up.
I bet you West Virginia has a lot of non-resident hunters. But you know why? Similar to what we talked about, a lot of the guys we know are from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. It's the closest state to where they can drive up to. The camps around.
Why
us
not
are
just
all-
drive 4 more hours and be in Ohio?
Well, they do too. They do both. The seasons.
okay, that's
the
fair.
seasons don't run congruent.
Okay, that's
so you can
fair.
do a week in West Virginia and then you can come up to Ohio. The camps around us are all North Carolina stuff. Those states like that. I guess what I was saying was, let's say it does go to a draw and it's once every 2 or once every 3 years. I would still go down to our camp because you have half the guys will have tags, half won't. You film a guy, you get drunk, you party the weekend before Thanksgiving. It wouldn't change what I do, but some guys would stop going. I don't think.
So this is a 2021 fact. So we're 4 years dated. 200,000 deer tags in West Virginia. 70,000 non-residents.
Twice as many as Ohio.
Oh shit!
I don't run.
But
into-
that's hunting, right?
So that's 30% of the
But it doesn't say deer.
yeah.
hunting licenses. Yes.
Yeah, so that's
There's some bear and
turkey,
stuff.
bear, other game.
Yeah. But I guess the point was, West Virginia is a border state with a not as good deer population. Deer herd. If they would go to a draw, would we still go? We would. A lot wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you put in points for West Virginia to shoot, aka a smaller buck?
Yeah, I guess that's where I rest my case is that nobody's coming to Ohio to shoot does or small bucks, and
Correct.
the numbers show it. So we have the opportunity to be the best white-tailed deer state in America. And I just don't understand any arguments against it if we followed the Iowa model. They are the model. And this nonsense of, well, we got big cities. Okay, I don't understand how that matters when that just justifies more resident hunters for Ohio that we should be taking care of. So we have more resident hunters so that we should allow more non-resident hunters? That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it's opposite of what.
It's the opposite. So we have more resident hunters, so we should even more reason to limit non-resident hunters. I mean, and they're not doing their share of killing does. It was what 30-something% of non-residents kill does, which is on par for residents, right?
Mm-hmm. So you like, it's funny. We're talking about West Virginia, for example. If you want to kill a doe in West Virginia, you have to buy a special tag. So like when I buy my hunting license, I get a rifle buck tag with it. And if I buy my archery tag, if I buy an archery tag, it's either sex. But if I want to kill a doe with my rifle in West Virginia, I got to buy an extra doe tag.
I guess if I want to compare our state, to something equal or better.
So it's like the restaurant thing, right? Ohio is a 5-class steakhouse and can be, you're going to go there and you're going to spend $400.
Right.
West Virginia, love the place.
Right.
It's fucking Denny's.
Right.
maybe even not Denny's, maybe like IHOP or like Waffle House.
Yeah.
Anyone can go and anyone can eat, and you're going to have success, but you're not going to have a $400 steak. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Ohio is, a steakhouse.
Yeah, I think for me,
they're letting too many people in the door.
We're talking about closing thoughts and all that. Like, if I look at the three, I'll call it the big three: corn piles, crossbows, non-residents. Big three. I don't think there is a world where this state ever considers getting rid of crossbows ever. So I just kind of pick my battles and go, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on
that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my energy on a loser. I'm just not. Bait is debatable. I think that's somewhere in the middle. I do think numbers talk, money talks. I've done the numbers. I know for a fact that we can limit non-residents to a draw similar to Iowa and make more money in the long run.
And that's the easiest thing for legislative purposes to do. Stroke of a pen, it's done. It doesn't piss off any residents.
And it makes money.
It would piss off very few residents.
No, I don't think it'd piss off
1%.
It'd be 1%. Here's another one I struggle with that a friend of mine does have this. So I think Steve listens. Steve, this is for you. His dad, lifelong Ohio resident, moves to Georgia after he retires. Better weather, whatever. I struggle with that one too. Like, the guy lived here his whole life. Here's the thing. Kansas used to, I don't know if they still do, offer a lifetime resident tag. So, like, you could buy that for an astronomical cost, move out, you will always have the right to come back. And in the state of Ohio, I kind of feel like that's important because so many people do move out of Ohio.
They moved to Florida when they retired.
Or whatever. And then that gives them the opportunity to still come back. I think something could be done there. I don't want to see families busted up because of this new non-resident draw system. I would like to see some kind of concession made to where, you lived here for X amount of years, you apply for a lifetime resident.
You bought your $1,000 license.
Yeah, and then you're good.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. That's my pick, my battles. My battle would be, just because I'm so familiar with it, in 90% of my hunting is as a non-resident. There's absolutely no logical reason we can't do it here and make it better for the residents. And I want to remind, nobody is going to listen. I don't know if Mike's going to listen or anybody from the council is going to listen. I want to remind you,
maybe not at this point,
who you work for.
Yeah.
You work for the people. Your number one is the resource. Number two are the people of Ohio, not non-residents.
And this helps both of those things.
So I don't like the argument, Airbnbs are going to suffer. No, those things will work themselves out. And if those Airbnbs are running off of 2 weeks of hunting for a couple $100 a night, I don't know. Probably not the best business model.
Yeah, because I rent a couple Airbnbs every year.
Sure.
And most of them aren't hunting related. It's tourism, vacations, that kind of thing.
I brought it up pre-podcast. More people come watch sporting events every weekend in the fall. If you add the Browns and the Ohio State and the University of Cincinnati and the fucking Cavs, More people are traveling one weekend in the fall here to watch sports. Stay the
the whole
night,
year of
eat at a
I
restaurant.
think their
buy
counter
the beer.
their counter argument would be the rural areas, the areas that don't have much going on throughout the year, and this is the one time a year to bolster their. But like honestly, you throw in cell cams, the non-residents that used to come here 2-3 times a year, coming here once a year. Once a year in the fall, they hang their cell cameras, they hunt, and then they ride those cell cameras the rest of the year. They don't have to come back out.
I agree.
I like your stance on it. I think it's wild that we don't listen to the biologists. Like,
When it comes to
that's like beating our head against the wall over and over and over until we knock ourselves out. The biologists say XYZ is bad. Baiting, whatever. XYZ is bad for turkeys, some of the deer, all the upland birds, and yet we won't change that. Money is a factor. The Farm Bureau, which we're members of, selling corn, all this stuff, because stakeholders and lobbyists will not allow it to be taken away. The biologists can present factual data that it is doing harm to our wildlife. You are harming wildlife by allowing this, and it just gets pushed to the side.
In its most basic sense, there's that old definition of insanity, right? Keep doing the same shit and expect a different result. So here we are, right? We're losing resident hunters year over year over year. We're keeping the same amount of non-resident hunters year over year over year. Yeah, it was down a little bit with the bump in tag cost. It was down minimally. We have all these problems. We have offered change solutions, and all three of them, the state has gone.
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
just pointing at each other.
All the state's gone. Yeah, but come up with something else. Mm-hmm. What else do you want us to come up with? You have to make a change. You have to be the adult in the room and make a fucking change. Otherwise, this shit ain't gonna change.
And the hunters that we would lose if, say, you ban baiting, the hunters we would lose because of that, maybe those wouldn't be the worst hunters to lose.
Well, we've been saying it a while. What's the best hunting in the world is when you hunt and you don't have to worry about anyone else.
Yeah, it's
So,
experience.
I'm not
right?
saying I want
it's 100%. It's the experience.
I'm not saying that I want everyone to stop hunting so I can have it better for myself. What I'm saying is when it's super crowded because of all the factors listed, no one's having a good time. Mm-hmm. No one's having a good time. And my closing thought for my own personal side on this, because we're getting ready to wrap this up, my closing thought would be, imagine a world in Ohio. Just imagine you're the average Ohio deer hunter. You can be a weekend warrior. You're hunting on the weekends. I don't care if you're using your crossbow. It don't fucking matter. But imagine if you're just the average guy in Ohio and you're down in Athens County, Medina County, wherever. Big deer hunting county, small deer hunting county. All of the outfitters and the non-resident leases have dried up and or minimalized themselves. X amount of bucks are surviving each season and not being killed just because someone bought a $2,500 guided hunt to blah, blah, blah outdoors, and now they got to shoot a deer. So all these bucks are surviving another year. Your age structure overall over time is increasing. The rut activity is increasing because the deer are starting to move around. They're starting to feed in areas that were once desolate, and there's no longer just a giant corn pile every 250 yards. 5 years from now, imagine hunting in that environment, like Iowa, like some of these other states.
More mature.
There's more mature bucks on the landscape. They're not going corn pile to corn pile. You're not having to worry about your 100-acre farm neighbor who leased it out to XYZ Outdoors. Now has a revolving door of guys starting September 27th every year of guys hunting that same box blind with a corn pile. The deer are doing more deer things. I just think that, to me, that is a world where everyone that lives here and hunts here and owns land here and spends time here and worries about the deer here are having a better experience.
And when you are that non-resident that has been applying for 5 years, draws that tag, and then now gets the opportunity to go hunting in a good state, you're going to have that much better of an experience.
Yeah, you don't have to sit in a doghouse, soft-sided blind
you could go
on
to
the side of a bean
land
field.
and you could see rut movement, and you could see this, and you could see that. And
I think your average Ohioan doesn't travel and hunt, so they only know Ohio. But I think you said the word imagine, and that is the key word, because for most people, they've never been to Iowa. They don't know what it can be. So how does it be? How can it be better than Ohio? Well, you haven't experienced it, and when you have, that fuels the fire, and that leads me to my statement for the state of Ohio is simply, tell me what you're not willing to change, so we can quit beating our heads against the wall.
We could work on the things you are.
Kiss me when you're fucking me.
Earlier,
Dude, you just give me that little bit of, you know what? Quit talking about it, because we're not changing these things. Here's the things we would consider. Kiss me, baby. Just maybe even a touch of tongue. Just kiss me. Make me feel good about myself. Not so dirty.
I was gonna bring it up earlier. If you went to the bar one time and brought a chick home,
right,
would you be done? No, you're going back tomorrow.
Depends on the bar and the chick.
It's like that. It's like that pursuit. Like I talked about. Like I'm always thinking about the next one. I love what you said. Perfectly mirrored what I was trying to get at. The satisfied man. Like nope. I want the next one.
Right.
And Ohioans, there's a lot of guys in Ohio that think, well, I don't want to do any more than what I'm doing to be able to kill my buck every year, so I don't want to change anything. And you know what? If that's the way you think, I'm actually okay with that. That you have figured it out, you're happy in your environment, and that's fine. Our podcast is obviously geared more towards the fanatics, and we sit here and we talk about this 52 times a year. Well, 49 because we skip 3.
Skip a couple.
49 times a year we sit here and talk about how much we love deer hunting and how much we want deer hunting to be better and how just our overall love of deer hunting. So if you could take the time to see it from our point of view, I think you know, that imagine that 5 years down the road, what Ohio could be, I don't think anyone in the world would be complaining about it as a deer.
Nope.
But we're also realistic, and we know not a ton's going to happen, but there's going to be more on this in the future. We're not done with the Making Ohio Great Again thing. We might give it a pass and a pause for a little while and get back to more off-season style podcasting, because
it also depends
where
on
we're at. But
it depends on the reaction. If we start getting some actual traction.
Yeah, the Skip Slide podcast is one thing, but we had to get some more traction out of everything that comes after that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that one got wings of its own and flew away, and which was great. But we'll see how the future rolls out. We have a bunch of guests but a bunch of guests on the hook that we're going to have on the podcast throughout the rest of the year. And we're going to do what we do with it, and we hope that you guys take a little bit about what we said and can sympathize with it.
And good luck to people still hunting.
Yeah, and one thing I don't do well with the comment section, don't be passive aggressive.
I have a couple.
Don't be passive aggressive, dude. At Harvest Moon Outdoorsman, shoot me a text. You got me. Shoot me a message if you've got something to say. Don't be passive aggressive about it, and tag me and give me an opportunity to reply.
Yeah, I love the automated username, so you know
it's so cheesy.
Yeah,
man.
Kimberly Jones 4777.
Yeah,
they comment and then you never hear back from them again.
Who's Kimberly Jones?
I don't know. They comment. They never respond to your response.
Yeah,
you never know who they are.
I showed that guy. I fucking showed.
Yeah. Don't be cheesy.
Who goes on random videos and comments?
Yeah, bots.
If I'm going to comment on someone's video and they respond to me, that's what I want.
Yeah,
I want to be able to
dialogue. So no, I want dialogue. Constructive.
Downer,
I want intelligent, constructive dialogue. You know,
never mind.
I'm willing to engage.
Yeah.
Huh, well,
Cool. All right.
Well,
that was
we didn't finish.
Fireside Chats.
We didn't finish it.
Deer Shot Podcast episode
127.
127. We are out.
Out.